back to another video. Today going to be going over everything you need to know about the upcoming Horizon Anniversary update, which is of course technically Series 13. Let's begin with the overall series prize cars, which are the Wuling for 80 points overall, which isn't new to the game, so is rather disappointing, and the McLaren 650S Spider for 160 points, which isn't new either. In the stream they said they've added this because it's similar to the Horizon 4 cover car, the Senna, which it is, apart from in every way. So those are probably the most disappointing series prizes we've had so far. Now that those are out of the way, let's begin with the seasons. Each week will be themed around one of the previous games, as we guessed before. First week Horizon 1, second week Horizon 2, and so on. For example, each week's photo challenge, you go to a new festival location that they're going to make, which has a backdrop relating to the game in question, where you take a picture of the cover car from that game. And each week's weekly Forzathon is also based on that same cover car. So let's begin with summer, which is of course themed around the Dodge Viper. For 20 points you can win the 599XX, which isn't new to the series, but I think is new to Horizon 5. We only have the XX Evo, and that's being added because it was Darius Flint's car in the first title. They then said all Ferraris should be red, so I was getting quite annoyed and shouting yellow at the stream. For 40 points you can win the Plymouth Barracuda, which again isn't new, and this week also has some Colorado themed bonus boards for you to smash. And I did notice a theme throughout all of the weeks that there's a few more event lab routes in there, which is good to see. On to autumn. For 20 points you can win the Koenigsegg Agera, which is new to the game but not to the Forza franchise, so that's kind of recycled. For 40 points you can win the Gallardo Spider, which I love, but again isn't new at all in any way. And similarly to the summer being themed heavily around Viper, this week is going to be themed heavily around, unfortunately, the horrible Lamborghini Huracan. Moving on to winter. For 20 points you can win the Eagle Speedster, which again isn't new. It returns from, well, they said Horizon 1, but it had already returned in Horizon 4. But it is good to see that car return because I do love the Eagle Speedster. And for 40 points you can win the Hot Wheels Ford Mustang, which isn't new either. And again, this week makes a lot of use of the Lamborghini Centenario, being Forza Horizon 3's cover car. And finally spring. For 20 points you can win the Aston Martin 177, which is again returning. It was in Horizon 4, and is the wrong Aston Martin. Please bring the DBS back. And for 40 points you can win the PLP 50, which you'll never guess also isn't new. And this week, of course, makes heavy use of the McLaren Senna. So before we get on to a few of the bigger things that are being added in the update, let's quickly run through some of the smaller bits of information that came up in the stream. For example, we're going to get a different start screen each week, which will be kind of fun, and of course they'll be themed around the game that week is celebrating. There are new badges, including cake and other birthday related things, which you usually have to win by doing open. And some props are going to appear in whatever road racing and I think some of the other races you do that will relate to that week's game. So for example, in the first week we'll get some Horizon 1 themed props, including a wavy arm man and flags and some of those curved bridge over the road type things. So those are some of the smaller things picked up. Let's move on to some of the bigger things, beginning with fan favourite music. There's going to be a Horizon mixtape station added, of course hosted by Scott Tyler, the original DJ from Horizon 1, and they told us all of the artists that are going to be included, which didn't include Sam and the Womp.
I'm the cat with the bass and drum.
Or New Order. So that's kind of disappointing. There is also going to be a new Horizon Origins story mode, which is going to include that music, but like I said, not the ones that I kind of wanted to see return. And it begins with driving the Viper just like we did in the original, where you go past a diner and then end up in the Corrado, although this one seemed to be a shed with diner written on it. Darius Flint returns, which will be good to see. I hope he's the same character that he was in that first game, not overly friendly like all the ones are in this game. And the prize car for this story mode is a Viper Forza Edition. Well, I say Forza Edition, it's actually an Anniversary Edition, so it's Forza Edition but more, including a ridiculous upgrade preset with a huge wing, which will be good to play about with once this update is out. Midnight Battles also return from Horizon 3, which are essentially pink slip races. You can win hard to find cars from them, but unfortunately none of them are actually new. Although I do like that one of the prize cars is the Murcielago, as it was back in Horizon 3. One of the things that's coolest about this though is they've managed to port forward the original cinematic for the starting of these races and those iconic blue flares from the street races in Horizon 3, which will be amazing to see. There are 4 races in total for you to enjoy, starting in C-Class and going up through B, A and finishing in S1, which are going to unlock you some new accolades, and as with Horizon 3, to unlock these Midnight Battles, you have to do a certain number of street races to get them to pop up on your map. And last but most definitely not least, the bit I'm most looking forward to is the biggest update to Event Lab yet, with 97 new props, all of which I think are within the new Horizon History category, which has a subcategory for each of the previous games. And the first thing I noticed was that you can add a barn, which is the first building to be available, and a yacht. And then they later showed some more buildings, including tower blocks, which is amazing to see. Having pre-made buildings in there is going to change everything in Event Lab, because up until now people have been assembling things out of small bits if they're trying to make buildings. So that'll be brilliant. It'll mean you can really change the feeling of whatever circuit you're building. You can make an urban circuit with all of these buildings if you want to, which is going to be great to see what people come up with, and I can't wait to try this out myself. A few more props also have snap functionality, which is good to see, and I only hope they continue to update Event Lab with some features as big as this one. So what do I think of the update? I think the prize cars are quite disappointing, although the Anniversary Edition Viper is kind of cool, as is the Eagle, but neither are really new. I hope the story mode is good, but going by other Horizon 5 story modes, I'm not sure how great it will be, although I think it might be better than those, so it'll probably be the best one we have. I just hope it is enjoyable. Overall, I think the update will have a great feeling for the anniversary, but in terms of actual new content, there really isn't as much as there should be, I don't think. The biggest bit of new content is actually the Event Lab thing, which is the bit I'm most looking forward to anyway, so that's good to see. Remember, there are 97 new props, but that is the best thing I think they've ever added to this. That is, as ever, the bit I'm most looking forward to, partly because I want to try out other people's creations, because they make absolutely amazing things, but I also really want to have a play about with this as soon as I can when the update comes out. The update is, as ever, out on Tuesday, with the festival playlist starting on Thursday. The game itself, the original Horizon that is, actually turns 10, excuse the pun of the other Forza studio, on the 23rd of October. So I do very much look forward to playing this update as soon as it's out, but do let me know which bit you're most looking forward to this, and are you also slightly disappointed by cars? And are you as excited as I am about the Event Lab update? I'm certainly looking forward to giving that a go. Anyway, for now, that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.